chains are attached like that, and you have this cord plugged into here. On this side. So normally this cord, and it's got a key here for direction. So normally you would be like that. You would have both chains attached to the cord. So you come in and hook the cord obviously here. And hook the chains. Normally what we do is we wrap them around like this. Just there, man. Once that's removed, you can take this pin off, so you pull this out, pull it over, and it comes off. So it just kind of goes like that so it doesn't come out of its own. Okay? And it goes through this little hole. It's really important that you always have one of these pins in. So if you ever lose it, go get another one. You don't want to operate it without a pin, because this thing will open up and it will come off. Okay? So always have that pin on there. Then it's got a little lever in here you pull up. And this tag, you push up on the lever, pull up the whole thing. See the lever right there? Okay? So once it's up, that's when, and I take the pin again and I just kind of put it in here once. Once I remove it, I put the pin back so I don't lose it. So once it's up right there, it's got a pedestal down here. It's got a big pin, you pull this again, and the leg will drop. Okay? Once the leg drops, kind of pick it up and try to find the closest hole. Put the pin in through there. And it's got this cotter pin here. You just go through the little hole there, and then you push the pin, the wrap them over it, and then that's in place. Okay? Once that's locked, turn it so it touches the ground. Turning and eventually pick it up off the gotta pick it up enough to where it clears the ball. Once you're there, take this back down. Finish, you don't lose it. You want to bring this down to where it's somewhat level. You don't want to, even when you store it, you don't want to have it this high, because the higher it is, the flimsier it is. So you want to, you always want to get something to block the wheels with, just so it doesn't go forward and back. You can get that you can pull on there. Sometimes they come with them, yours didn't, so we're just using this piece of wood, but you can use whatever. So just put it in there, just to kind of little chocks, CHO, CKS, chocks. The size of that ball you need is a 2 5/16. It's really important.
Think it'll be safe at the hub overnight?
These are like a 220 volt plug. Put the cord down here. has an adapter that converts it to 110. Okay, so don't lose these adapters or you won't be able to plug it in anymore. Okay? So, just the reason I tell you, just be aware these come off. So you can, pull it out of there, forget it. It can stay in the wall, you pull it out and you forget it. So make sure that the whole thing comes out. One of them has a little L on it. Okay, one of the plugs here has an L. So it's the same thing when you look in here. One of the prongs has a little L on it. So just align that, push it in, and then turn it. Boom, and then locks it in place. And then you're gonna take this and you're gonna twist it on there, just for extra. So somebody doesn't come by and run into it or rip it off. And then after that, you just plug it into the wall.
There's not a generator or anything that
There is not a generator, there's a converter. But there's no generator. So there's a converter that takes, this juice and whatever it draws from the outside and converts it. I don't know how long the battery by itself will last. But I mean, you have the water heater runs off electricity and propane, so it's got an electric pilot, and it obviously runs on propane. And then you have this pump, it's electric. You got the AC. I don't know how big the battery you have in this thing is, but I don't think it's big enough to run all that. Plus, you got the pump for the water. That's down here. You got a pump down there for water.
It's a lot of power.
So yeah, I don't know. We've always run plugged in. The times I've run it has always been plugged in, just because I don't know how much.
I just don't know if we're gonna find these sort of electrical sockets out.
Well, it's just a regular household socket.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just a regular household socket. Nothing. That's why I'm telling you, it's got that adapter.
The yellow adapter.
Yeah, that yellow adapter. So that allows you to plug into a regular household outlet, like a 110.
Okay.
But what I will tell you is that if you plug them all in, to the same circuit, you'll probably blow.
It's 3 different circuits, right?
Yeah, so try to plug it into a couple different locations, not all in line, because you'll probably drop a ton of juice out of it. You'll blow out the lights in the building or something. And then you just have to flip the breaker. So this thing's got its own control panel. So that's your inverter up there. Okay, your converter, your car converter. So this thing has the power center's right here. So you got they're all really well marked. The AC unit, it's a main breaker right here. The sanitation pump, which is a pump down there. You got the regular pump for the hydraulics. Another main, the water heater one, which I have off only because we don't have any propane to it, so I don't want to turn it off and maybe blow an element or something. You got your converter, which is that thing, and then another main. Okay? So right now they're all on except for the water heater one. This controller right here controls your jacks, your landing gear, just to stabilize it on its own and be able to level it. If you're in an incline or decline or anything like that, you'll be able to do it right here. Okay? So to run it, you actually have to turn the key on. It's got its own key to turn it on. We left it in here because you're able to take this down and lock it. So we didn't remove it, we just left it in there so it doesn't get lost. Okay? So
If you're on a flat parking lot, you don't really need the landing.
you probably should, because what'll end up happening is that people walk in there, it'll get really wobbly.
Yeah.
So a landing gear keeps it all stable.
So there's 4 on.
There's 4, yeah, and I'll show you how to operate them in a minute. So this is the pump for the landing gear. I mean, this is not for the landing gear, for the water. This is the water pump. This pressurizes everything. Normally, right now it has water. And reading the manual, it says you're supposed to drain it before you transport it. Drain the fresh water valve. It's right here. The handle's right here to drain it. You just pull it up, and then, I'm assuming it just dumps on the ground. But it's clean water. Right? It's a big tank. It's gonna take a while to fill. It's right now. Its fill looks like about halfway. I had the water. You fill it up right here. just put a regular garden hose up right here and it fills up. I can tell you that we had it running for about 2 hours or so, maybe 2.5 hours, filling, and it went about halfway. So it's a big tank. It'll take a while to fill. And I'm assuming it's got some kind of, we didn't fill out the way the top, so I don't know, but I'm assuming it's got some kind of level to where once it gets full, it doesn't allow any more in. Everything's already set for you. The only thing, if you plug in the water, everything's already set. I've already primed it for you. I've already done everything, so all that's done. You don't have to do any of that. The only time you're gonna have to do that is if, like I said, there is a winterizing procedure where you have to, I'm assuming, drain all the water. It's something probably the shop will do. You guys won't do that. So when you go to prime it again, there's a valve. There's a valve over here that you have to close. It's got a big handle, sort of like this. It's gonna be hard for you to see because it's kind of backwards. But there's a valve right here you gotta close. There's another. It says a tank fill valve. So if you look in that back corner, it says tank fill valve. So maybe you can see it. It's in the very, very corner by the tank.
So these are water fill tanks.
Yeah, those are the tanks. See it back there?
Yeah. Is it that gray one?
Yeah, gray one. You gotta close that one too. So you close that one, you close that one, you open the water, and you just need to let it run for about 30 seconds. And all that does, it diverts all the water you're pumping in into this unit so that it's primed. Once it's filled with water, then you just open up that one again, open up the other valve, and it starts going into the big tank. Okay? Like I said, to drain it, you just pull this up, and it starts draining on the ground. I'm not going to do it now, but it starts draining. So once you're at a place where you're going to be and you sit and you're ready to set up, they provide you a wrench. They provide you this wrench here to do it with. I suggest you get one like this. Okay? So it's a 1/2-inch drive ratchet, about a 6-inch extension, and then a deep 15/16 socket.
What's that? 16 extension?
15, 16. Yeah, this is called a half
Half-inch
inch
socket.
drive, 1/2-inch drive ratchet, 6-inch extension, and a 15/16 socket.
Deep socket.
Yeah, deep socket.
Okay.
Okay, and I would get a black one. Okay, if you get the chrome ones, they're really thin wall. So get a black one because they're way thicker wall. Okay, and you're gonna need it. They provide you a wrench. You got zero leverage where you're gonna be using it. So I tried it. It doesn't. They might as well have just kept it.
So for sure.
They added for just so they say they provided you a tool, but it doesn't. So once you're somewhere, you open these flaps up. Okay, you gotta loosen these up. So every time you transport, you gotta tighten these. Okay, you gotta tighten these. This is a pin also, and this is what the trailer actually rests on when you're driving. It doesn't rest on the wheel or anything like that. It rests on this pin. Okay, so these kind of pinch everything together so it doesn't stop moving around. Okay, so you gotta loosen these up. You get to where you're going. Just once it's loose, it's not gonna go anywhere. You just same thing with this. Once it's loose, you're all set. It's got 2 more on the other side, same exact thing. That actually holds the trailer all down on the hydraulic and the suspension. Because you don't want it riding on hydraulics, you don't want it riding on any of that. You want it riding. Once that's it, Turn the key on. And start dropping the landing gear here. You should see it start coming down in a second. So, you'll be at the corner. Okay, so once they're done, okay, I don't remember how they did it, but it's really important you put it this way. I'm going to tell you why. This thing right here is a motor, and it's got like all the power of all those extension cords up to it. So if you touch that bull right there, you're going to turn this thing into a giant arc welder. Okay? So whoever's touching is going to it's not going to be a pleasant experience, I'll tell you that. So you want to put this pin this way, so when you pull it out, you come in this way. You don't want to be trying to pull it out that way and accidentally touch that. Okay? So it doesn't happen if you touch it, but if you're
Metal.
metal, it's not fun. Okay? So once you're there, you want to go up on the landing gear until this thing pulls out. Okay? You just want to keep going up until it pulls out. And that's it. So let me go pull out the other side. You guys don't have to. Here's your hydraulic pump for your landing gear. So the tank is see-through, so just make sure it's at least halfway full. It's never filled all the way to the top. Just make sure it's at least halfway full. Again, that's something the shop will do. But if you all of a sudden see these lines starting to drip, or you see moisture down here with, or dirt collecting with oil, right? It's probably leaky. So you want to get it. You want to get it looked at. Well, you just want to get it looked at. You don't want it to start hydraulic leaking here and then it drips everywhere. That's the last thing you want. So, so just make note of that tank. Like I said, it doesn't have to be filled. Just at least it's halfway. You're good to go. Close to the key actually operates the front. Right? The one close to the key actually operates the front, and the one further away or close to the front operates the rear one. Okay? So.
Oh.
Yeah, it's okay. You can flip them up or down. I mean, so you're moving up the back of the trailer up and down.
Cool.
Okay. And so you just set it up however you want to stabilize it. And you can lower it some more if you want to. Just make sure you jack in the front. If you're gonna lower it, make sure the jack in the front isn't touching. This the jack. If you're gonna do that,
This should never be bearing any weight.
if you're gonna do that, make sure you pull this pin. Pull the pin and then push it all the way up. Push it as high as it will go. That way, it's clear. Different things. There's a light in here, so if you're operating in the dark, there's a light switch in here to turn on inside. You also have lights on either entrance of the trailer, so in the rear and then over here by the showers. And so that light switch is right here. And you have two types of light. You got an amber light and you have a white light. So you can turn on whatever one you want, right? So amber is, if you push it, it's a three-way switch. So if you push it up, it's amber. If you push it down, it's white. Okay, just gonna leave it up. You can extend and retract the awnings from here. Okay, you got switches, but they're difficult to see.
Why?
But because you're over here and the awnings are on either
got
side
it,
of the
got it,
tray.
got it.
So they're difficult to see. If you have somebody
Spotting?
looking, a spotter, yeah, then you can do it from here. It's easier. If you don't, there's a way to operate them from the awning itself, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute, because that's probably what will happen, more than likely. So the other thing you have here are the vents for the exhaust vents for the thing. So you can turn them all on. That's what I do. I turn them all on, and then I hit up. You just have to hit the button once, and it's got little lids that open up on the top.
Oh, okay.
Okay, to allow the fans to exhaust.
Is it labeled bathroom 1, 2?
It's just middle front, middle, and ADA. So the front, you know, the middle, and the ADA. Okay. So once the lids are up, then you can turn on the fans here. And they have different, you can just speed up and down. So you'll be able to hear them in a minute. So I just turn them on now. That way, when we go back there. Okay. So we'll go back there. There's going to be a lady doing it. It's aluminum and it's light, but it's not that light. Okay. So all you gotta do is you're gonna hold this, pull up on this pin, pull it up. You're gonna move one. Okay. You can, I just put them on the ground there, but you can actually move that out of the way and put it in here. Oh, we don't lose it. Same thing with the other one. Pull the pin out, pull it up. Make sure you hold it at this point because there's nothing holding it. Okay. And then and there's your ramp. You want to pick it up so you can see how heavy it is?
Yeah.
Don't hurt yourself.
It's not light.
Yeah. I mean, it's not super duper heavy,
Right.
but it's not, it's not a one-handed thing. Yeah.
Angles.
Yeah, they're a little further back than they need to be. They should have come a little further back. But yeah, I mean, if it's a lady by herself, it can be a little, it can be a little difficult. So just just keep that in mind.
Did it come with handles?
It does come with rails. Everything's in there. So you have one key. Looks like a regular house key. That operates all the shower locks. So all the railing and the guards are all in here.
Oh,
Okay. Okay. It's locked. It's encased. You need this little key to open it, and it's just a half turn. So.
It's on the plates. The shower. Buried in there.
Yeah. So there's AC. So to turn on, just hit the button. Right. Did it the other day. There it goes. You cycle it until you get it to the cool, and then whatever temperature you want. Okay. And it'll turn on in a minute. It'll take a little bit. So you just put the close. You just put this lock back on. Close it and it puts this lock again. Okay. So I'm gonna leave it off. That way, whenever it comes time, we can do it again. So you should have water already. No hot water, just cold water. But it doesn't have any pressure because the pump's not on. I'm sure I'll turn the pump in a minute.
It's awesome though.
So the awning will extend it. If you overextend it, the only thing it does is they keep turning and it starts retracting again. So nothing happens, right? So yeah, so it's like I'll do it real quick. So
I saw the email.
yeah, it's got a series of buttons here. You wanna hit the lock button until the green light comes on. Okay, green light's on. Once it's on, then you just hit the extend. These are pretty easy to operate. You just push it out and it locks. It's the same key that we used for the other one. So you got shower back there, you got your sink right there. It's got a little seat in there too. So to pull the steps out, I'll wait for it to come. Just push down on the zero thing. It's got it. That's it. It's locked in place. It's not gonna go. Then to push it back in, same thing. Push it down. If you look, there's some buttons, okay? You're gonna hit the first button to turn it on. And then that's it. That's all you gotta do. Hit the power button.
Okay.
Reverse. Okay.
That's the turn on the pump, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So once it's on, that's it. You can go in there and pressurize the water. Alright. Attaches to that thing. That's what I'm assuming, because I didn't see a hose anywhere for it.
Is
Okay.
it a special hose or?
Yeah, so you just pull these out, and it just kind of screws on here. Is all it does. This thing just kind of screws on here. It's closed right now.
Oh, okay.
Pull those open. See, and it just kind of goes in there, and it just kind of locks in place. So yeah, it's a special hose that goes in there. You put your tin hook up here.
Yeah.
Make sure they're closed, obviously. These are empty right now. They come in, so make sure they're closed. You don't want to super tight them, just unscrew them from here, and then take them to a place to get filled. Like I said, I know U-Haul fills them. Not all of them probably do, but some of the U-Haul stations have fill stations. And there's like a place up the road here that has fill stations. So they're around town. If you look up, propane fill stations, they fill it up. And it's pretty cheap. It's not very expensive. So it's got a valve right here. It's closed right now. But once you put propane in these things, once you put propane in them, then you can open these up, open the valves up, put that down like that so it flows, and then open this valve here, and that'll shoot it up into the system. There's some other cutoffs, but you don't need to mess with those really. You just if you just cut it off here, cut it off here, you should